Just a product win. Okay, what are some wins that you're seeing within your downline with certain products, whether it be Shakeology, whether it be the beach bars, 3-day refreshes? What is a product win that you guys are seeing currently within your own fitness journey or within your own downlines? Any wins so far?
Can I share
I'll
one that's
ask you summaries
very,
with products. I know there's wins always. Oh, we got a hand raised with Michelle. Michelle, jump in here.
so sorry, Robbie being a dude, but one of my to-be clients is shocked that she has had 0 weight gains during her time of the month.
That is a win. That is a big win.
It's a win. Like she's like, I kind of don't want to say it because I'm afraid I'm going to jinx myself. That's a text that I got this morning already. Pretty
Well,
fun.
that's good. That honestly, that is great. That's always good news, right? Well, let's get one more product focus or product win that you guys have seen within your downline or within your own business right now.
I started from Danielle Natoni, or I think a couple other people did it, where they're using ShareCart and like adding more things in it and letting their customers know, like, I added whatever, a few things into your cart. You don't have to get them, but just take a look at them because I think this is the best option for you. And from doing that, I've really increased volume and have had a handful of people getting like recovered and energized on top of their initial challenge pack.
Awesome, awesome, Megan. I love that. That is a big win right there, guys. And you guys, we have some of the best freaking products out there. So pitch them, like talk about them, share your journey with them because honestly, I'm telling you, 3-day refresh, ultimate reset, like are some of the most underutilized products that we have out there. Okay, talk about them. If you've never done them, do one and then share your journey with it and then just see the kind of comments you're going to get. Okay, so really utilize those product focuses on an every other month basis. Okay. Just before we kind of jump into this call, guys, hopefully all of you guys are aware of the Lift 4 Top Sellers Contest. If you don't, the FAQ on that is FAQ 8216. Make sure you're sharing that with your teams. Make sure you're aware of what you need to do. Obviously, there's a Mezdamaz top seller also contest, which is FAQ 5223 if you're going after the Hispanic market or the Latino market this month. And make sure, guys, okay? I mean, hopefully we already know that Lift 4 early access packs are available today. Hopefully you're jumping on that. You're excited about it. I'm excited about it. I've been in the test group, and guys, you guys are gonna love Lift 4. It is an amazing program. So other than that, guys, I've been pumped up about today's call. Hopefully you guys read the introduction to this amazing speaker, Kate Morgan. Okay, if you guys did not read it, guys, she's only been a coach for 6 months, and she is freaking crushing it. Team leader. She's averaging around 60 Success Club points a month. Dude, she's crushing it. So, Kate, with that being said, jump in here. Tell us a little bit more about you and just how you kind of got off with this amazing start in your coaching business.
Okay, cool. So my story sounds a lot probably similar to a lot of people you guys are seeing in your challenge groups. Basically, about a year and a couple months ago, I came across my coach's transformation picture on the Explore page on Instagram, and I was in a really bad place as far as my health. And then I was also a first-year teacher in the projects of Southeast LA. And so I was teaching first grade in Southeast LA, and I'm from a small town in Colorado, so the math. So I was really in a bad place as far as like my mental and physical health. And when I liked my coach's picture, she sent me an invite the next day into her challenge group. And I signed up that day. I was super excited. I crushed 21 Day Fix, and then I quit. and I stopped reading Shakeology. I canceled my entire account. I made every excuse in the book not to, like, I was too busy. I was trying to find a new job. My fiance was in the police academy, like all these excuses. So I totally fell off the wagon, but my coach stayed my friend and was just supportive the next 8 months. And so supportive to the point where she's actually a bridesmaid in my wedding. Like, we're best friends. We met on Instagram, but even when I would try different things like quick fixes and never actually reformed back into Beachbody, she was still just like supportive. Like, I tell her like, oh, I got a personal trainer, and she's like, good for you. Like, so glad you found something that works for you. And so then when I was ready, the last day of November, I messaged her and was like, tell me about this coaching thing, and like, don't BS me. Like, tell me like the actual stuff about it. I want to know everything so I can make a good decision, because I really was in a place where I looked around my empty classroom at lunch and thought, this is it. Like, I'm 24 years old and this is my life for the rest of my life. And I just wasn't okay with that. So I signed up the next day, December 1st, as a working coach. And honestly, I don't think I've really taken my foot off the gas pedal since. And I think that's a little bit of what I'm going to talk about today.
Awesome. I love when I try to unmute myself and it doesn't work. Okay, no, seriously, thank you for kind of diving a little bit into your personal life and telling us a little bit more about you. And, you know, it's always interesting to hear where, you know, each coach comes from and has a different story and a different passion. So love that. Thank you so much. So let's dive into your topic. I mean, what do you have prepared for us today? How can we help you kind of get this I should say discussion started? And then are you cool with a Q&A at the end?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we'll take about 10 minutes at the end of the call, and guys, hopefully you guys came with some questions. So, okay, let's take it off. What are we talking about today?
So basically, what I talk about a lot is how you see like all my accolades. Like, you see like, oh, she's only been a coach for 6 months and she's an organizational leader and she's number 15 in the company and all this stuff. But really, like, I'm not special. Like, when I started, I really had to look at coaches that I admired, and I had to take them off their pedestal and say, like, they're just a normal person that has goals, that does their stuff every single day. And so I'm going to tell you guys just a little about like what I teach my team and how I run my business. And you guys are going to be like, wait, we've heard all of this before. And maybe you hear it today in a different way and it finally clicks, but I promise you won't hear anything different than you haven't heard before. So basically, what I do in my business every single day are the vitals. 100%, I do all 4 vitals every single day, and I 10x them. So personal development, I usually do like an hour in the morning and an hour before bed. Just find a good book. And I got into that habit because my commute has been an hour one way for teaching. So I would listen to an audiobook an hour in the morning and an hour home, or podcast or whatever. So now I just am able to chill at home and do it, which is really nice. But invites, I don't just send 20 invites a day, which is a good place to start. But if you really want to drive your business forward and you really want to like reach these big, scary goals, you have to be sending more. I usually send between like 50 and 60 invites a day. And I don't usually do that every single day. I usually do it like 5 days a week. My invites are usually, but I am inviting on my story all the time. So on my Instagram story, I'm like verbally inviting people, or like putting up a poll and having people inquire that they're interested. So those aren't, I don't do all of those every single day, or you would totally burn out from sending invites. Because for me, that's like, I hate sending invites. I love it because you get to change someone's life. And when you go into an invite thinking like, I have this gift, it has changed my life. For me, 80 Day Obsession absolutely rocked my world. I lost 15 pounds in 2 pant sizes. And then after that, I started 2B Mindset, and now I'm down 24 pounds total and 3 pant sizes. So like this has absolutely changed my life. And then also the business side, like when I started, I was like, I'm going to teach for probably 2 more years and then I'll hopefully be able to go full time. I put in my 2 weeks notice or my end of year notice in April. And so I'm now like officially retired and a full-time coach. And so you have to, in order to set these big, scary goals, you have to do things that you don't like. And I don't like sending invites. But I know that if my coach would have never sent me an invite, then I would have never, like this opportunity, she gave me the best gift in the entire world. And so when you can go into an invite knowing that you have this gift that you can give to someone, it's not so scary. And you will want to send like as many invites as possible. And so when you do the vitals, it's really just doing them all the time and being consistent. Consistency, like you guys hear this all the time and still people aren't doing it. You have to be doing it every single day. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to like rock my vitals this week and the next week I'm going to take a week off. You can't get off your escalator. You have to have an escalator mindset where if you're walking up the down escalator, so it's coming down towards you and you're walking up it, you have to walk quickly or you have to run or else you're going to continue to get pushed down. If you stop, you're going to get pushed down to the base and you're not going to get to the top of your escalator.
Okay, I think about what Gary Vaynerchuk said at like Summit. Was it 2 or 3 years ago? Where he's like, I'm going to tell you all my secrets, and only like 10% of you, or not even that, are going to even do exactly what I say. And isn't that the freaking truth? Like, it's so crazy. Like, if we would just do the vitals day in and day out, and like make sure that we're following up with people, like we're gonna be growing. We will grow if we're doing the vitals on a daily basis.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's so funny, like, I'll have people say, like, well, what's your secret? Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, the vitals. Like, I don't have a secret, you guys. Like, it's don't. And I'm just a new coach that had big goals and big dreams and just decided to go for it. And so I think too that leads into like with the way I lead my team is that I do lead from the front, and I hit high success club numbers. My team sees that it's possible, so they hit high success club numbers. I treat it like a business. I talk about it like a business. I set business hours. My team sets business hours and treats it like a business. So your team will always do half of what you do. So if you're sending 20 invites and you're hitting Success Club 10 every month, then your team will probably hit Success Club 5, and they'll probably send maybe 10 invites a day. They're always going to do half of what you're doing. And then also because I have high expectations for myself, I'm highly competitive with myself. And if I don't hit a goal that I set for myself, I have to give myself a major pep talk and reflect on why I didn't hit that goal and then reset it for a different timeline. But because I have high expectations for myself, my team has high expectations for themselves as well. And I also tell my team all the time, like, I'm not your boss. We're business partners. I'm not in charge of you or your business. This is your business. So if you choose to work it, you're going to crush it. But if you choose to not work it, then you're not. And I'm not going to be all over you about it. One quote that I heard a couple weeks ago was, you can run with 100, but you can only drag 1. And so I was thinking to myself, like, there's so often I hear coaches saying, well, I can't get my team to work. I can't get them to hit Success Club. I can't motivate them to rank advance. And you can't. They have to want it. They have to have the vision. They have to have the beliefs that not only belief in the products, belief in the business, but belief that they can do it too. And if you believe in yourself and you are confident in that, then your team's going to start to believe in themselves as well. And so I think really just allowing them to see that these are all the things you're doing, and letting them decide, are you going to run with me or are you not? And if they're not, then they're not. And they have all the resources in the world. All my girls, I have a couple girls that aren't runners, and they're still on my team page. They still show up on team calls. I still check in with them to make sure they're all good. And if they have any questions, or if they're ready to jump into my runners group or whatever, but I'm not going to push them every single day and say like, okay, we got to get you to Success Club. Like, how many invites have you sent? Blah, blah, blah. Like, they know what they need to do and they have all the resources to do it. And I need to spend my energy on the people that are running, because so many times in the last few months, I've wasted so much energy on people that I'm like, but if you just did it, you would be so good. Like, I saw the potential, but they didn't want it, and you can't make them want it. You can want it for them, but you can't make them do anything. And so I think that's extremely, extremely important as a leader to remember.
No, I love that, Kay. I wrote down here boldness and enthusiasm. I mean, like, those are some of the most important things that you can teach, you know, as a leader, of being confident, with coming off confident on an invite, making sure that you are excited about products, making sure you're excited about the business. Guys, enthusiasm really is the catalyst for your business. If you are not excited about this business, no one else is. So make sure you have that excitement. Make sure you're being bold with your team and with yourself. So love the fact that you mentioned that, Kay.
I think too, with that excitedness, like, there's going to be times where you're not excited about your business. Like, you're going to wake up and you're like, I really don't want to do this today. I'm tired. You guys, I've been teaching full time. I had an hour commute one way in LA traffic. I coach middle school basketball. I'm planning a wedding. My fiance's a cop. Like, I have enough going on in my life, and I didn't need to add anything to my plate. But on the days that on the hard days, the days that I came home from teaching crying or anxious or just not feeling it, I always got my workout in and I always worked my business, no matter what, because I knew that this business would create that freedom where I didn't have to worry about those. It was a different kind of hard. Like, I didn't have to worry about those hard days anymore. There's going to be different types of hard days now, but it's even on the hard days that you guys work your business that you're going to drive it forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is 100% truth, Kate. And so let's dive into some do you mind if we dive into some questions?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Awesome. I think on the chat thread, we had a few questions. Wendy asked, what are your favorite type of invites? I mean, do you have like a certain invite that you always go to?
No, I don't really do scripts. I'm pretty casual with my invites, so it kind of depends on what I'm doing. So for like Lift 4, my invite sounded like, I'm trying to think. It said like, hey girl, like, I'm starting this brand new program. It launches tomorrow. I can get you early access. The rest of the public won't have it till October. Would you be interested in snagging a spot? And usually if it's not like a program launch or like program specific, I'll say that I'm enrolling for my boot camp, and I'll say like, hey girl, I'm enrolling for my June boot camp. I was wondering if it would be something you're interested in. Like, very quick, casual, like no pressure, just planting a seed. I don't really do scripts because I just have never really used a script. The only thing that I ever really script out are like prices. So I'll say like, the package is $170 and here's everything you get. But that being said, if I send an invite that's like my Lift 4 invite, I'm going to copy and paste that to everyone I'm inviting for Lift 4. But I don't like keep it in like a script bank. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. Love that. Awesome. So looks like we have another question just came in from Rachel. What does your new coach startup process look like? Do you do a getting started right call with each new coach, or how does that process look?
So I have a 14-day training. It's using the website builder Thinkific. I know a lot of other coaches use that, but I just have a 14-day quick start training. Basically, a person signs up as a coach. I send them a welcome email that has like a couple of personal questions, and it talks about mindset, like that escalator, and some other analogies because I'm totally an analogy person. And then they do the 14-day training. They have assignments that they email me after they finish. And it really helps me keep track of like who's actually emailing me their assignments, because that tells me if they're runners or not. Some people will finish the training in a day because it's pretty short, but I lay it out to be 14 days, and then some people like won't even finish it. So I don't have a GSR call with every one-on-one. I don't have one with everybody. I do a group new coach basics call once a month. And then, so it's like a group GSR. And then the runners, like people that I see finish the training and they're already starting to like post on social media, like I really feel them out. And if they're like wanting to build this business, then I'll have a one-on-one with them. But especially teaching full-time, there is no way that I could have a one-on-one coach with all of my new coaches signing up. I didn't have enough hours a day at that point.
Oh, it makes perfect sense. Thank you, Kay. I wrote down this question. So how do you get them running from day one? Like, so for example, like, one of the categories is helping a coach hit any kind of Success Club points in the first full month of the business. How do you get them going from day one, saying like, hey, let's go help change, one person's life today, like in your first day?
Honestly, I think it's the way I talk about my business on my social media, and I think it's the way I talk about it in my sneak peeks. Like, I talk about it as this business that, like, there's so many possibilities. And so when people sign up, like, they kind of know what they're getting themselves into. They know they're getting themselves into a business that they're going to have to work. I didn't do that forever. And the first couple months that I wasn't doing that, and I was more of like, oh, like, you can just do it on your own. Like, you can just do whatever with it. Like, I was finding people that were doing whatever with it. But when I stopped I changed the way I was talking about the business, I started getting people that were like, okay, well, I already have a person, like, I'm not even signed up as a coach yet, but how do I sign up because I have someone that's interested? Or people that are like, yeah, I think I want to do the coaching thing, and I can already think of like 3 people that I can ask to sign up. Like, they kind of already do it themselves, because I think it's the way that I talk about it and the way my team talks about it in our Coach Sneak Peeks. I know that someone had a question if I invite to coaching. I don't invite to coaching to people that aren't challengers. So I do a Coach Sneak Peek, and I'll post about that on my social media. It's once a month. And then I'll like talk about that. But I don't send like coach invites to people that aren't my challengers. My best coaches have started as challengers and fallen in love with the process and decide they want to change lives too. I do have 2 people that they started as a challenger and a coach at the same time, but they had watched me for long enough that they were like, okay, I want to do all of it. And they're 2 of my diamonds. So I don't really know how I get them to sign people up right away. Like, I think they just do it based on like what they see. And that's why I think you just have to model the belief and leading from the front for sure.
Love it. Love that. No, leading from the front is absolutely critical. So love that. And I love this question. You've had off the chart Success Club numbers these last 2 months. Who did you invite?
So I invite people that watch my stories, that follow me, and that like my pictures. I don't send invites to people that don't follow me. I don't really send invites to my warm market because I'm from a really small town, and warm market scares me because by small town, I mean like 13 blocks wide, and my stepdad's the mayor by default because no one else wants to run. So my warm market is a little like scary. It's just a little scary. So I don't really do warm market. I have my Instagram. I send invites to people that are watching my stories. I'm on my stories all day, every day about the most random stuff. Like, everyone knows my dogs and my dogs by name. And they always talk about my dogs. Like, I'm pretty sure they love my dogs more than me. I think that's the only reason people follow me, to be honest. And then I just invite people that are liking my posts. And that's pretty much where my invites come from. And so really growing your social media is really key because eventually you're going to run out of people to invite unless you're growing your market. Are you Morgan Kate Fitness on Instagram? No, I'm the Fit-ish Life of Kate.
Can you share more about how you recruit coaches? Is it more organic through your groups? Details, please.
Yeah. It's people that I see like rocking their journey. I'll message them and say like, girl, you're totally crushing it. Like, people deserve to see that passion, and you could help so many people and inspire other people and change their lives too. Would you be interested in doing what I do? I'm very casual in like the way I talk to people because that's how I am, just like in person. And then if someone's like not doing so hot in their journey, I'll say something like, I totally feel you. Like, I was that person. I wasn't consistent until I became a coach. Coaching has created so much accountability for me. And so if you're ever interested in like just holding yourself more accountable and becoming a coach, you need to let me know because I think you'd be great at it. So that's kind of how I recruit to coaching, and it's usually out of my challenge groups or out of my sneak peeks.
Awesome. Megan is like dying to ask a question. She says, I have a question.
Sorry, I didn't know how to like type this out in the chat. Okay, so this is the third time I've heard you talk from like Janelle Summers' page and everything. Did you have a big Instagram following from the get-go? Because I know you said that you invited like 62 people a day strictly from who watched your story or liked your pictures. So did you have a lot of people liking your stuff from the get-go when you were posting? And follow up with that is like, so people that did continue to like it, did you like just continue following up with those people if they didn't respond to an invite?
So when I started, I had about like 800 to 900 followers. Like it was nothing crazy. I did have a teacher Instagram. If you guys aren't teachers, then you're gonna think this is totally weird. But like teacher Instagram community is huge and it's like a really big deal. And so I was trying to like be a teacher Instagrammer, but I'm not like fancy and creative like a lot of teachers are. So I was just on there to be social. So I had like 800 to 900, I don't know, around 800 followers when I started, I think. I'm at like almost 6,000 now. And it's basically like the way you grow your Instagram market, you guys, is that you go to a page that you like say that I love The Bachelor. I'm going to go find Chris Harrison's Instagram page and I'm going to go to his followers, and all those people are probably going to be like, we have something in common. We all love The Bachelor. So then I'm going to follow people that look like they're a part of my tribe, and they're hopefully going to follow me back, and then they're going to start watching my stuff. They're going to start connecting with me, and that's how you build your market organically. And so that's kind of how I grew my market. And then I think I forgot the second part of your question.
Well, okay, so back to my first question. When you had a smaller following, did you start out inviting 62 people a day?
No, I was inviting like 30.
Okay, so it's just as you grew.
Yeah, and I was just also like a new coach, so I also didn't know like what things to 10x yet. Like I knew I had to invite, but I didn't know like how many yet. And so I got up to 62 because I had to set my actions to my goals. So like if my goal was to be elite this year, then I needed to send more invites, which means I needed to grow my market more.
Well, and also, guys, following up is just as critical as the invite. I mean, guys, a lot of these people, we have to follow up with them 6 to 12 times before they say yes, or before they even give the time of day. So I think that's important to realize. Each Instagram, each Facebook contact requires roughly around 6 follow-ups before they're like, okay, I'm ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah, and that was another part of your question too, like the people that continue to like my stuff or continue to watch. I usually send them an invite like every single month. It obviously sounds different. I've had people where I've invited, they've literally ignored me for like 6 months, totally ghosted me, never even talked to me or responded. But they're still watching my stories and they're still liking my posts. So obviously like they're not annoyed with me or they would have unfollowed me already. And so then like this happened yesterday. Someone messaged me and was like, okay, I think I'm finally ready to have more information. Can you give me more details on the new program? And I looked and I had invited her 5 times. Like for the last 5 months, I've sent her 1 invite. And so I think sometimes we're like, oh my God, I'm going to ignore people. Like I don't want to be spammy. But if they're still watching your stuff and they're still following you, then obviously they're interested. They're just not ready yet.
No, awesome. This question, this is kind of like a double-edged sword question. So do you have a system for tracking your current customers and coaches? And then what are you doing to make sure everyone gets the support they need?
So tracking my customers, I use Google Streak on email. So I do a lot of my stuff through email, and I use Google Streak. Sorry, my fiance is trying to plug in my computer charger and he turned off my light. This is real life, people. You can just unplug the, okay. My assistant, friends and family. So I use Google Streak for customers with sending invites. I just moved over to Google Streak and using email because it keeps me more organized. I had like close to 200 people interested in the Lift launch with the free workout. So like setting that all out in DMs was not going to happen. So sending it out in email is a lot easier. And then also I use a notebook, and I think if you've heard me speak on like Janelle Summers and stuff, you know this, but if I have a notebook, I don't have one with me, but it has lines on a page, and I make 2 columns, and I write down numbers 1 through 62 because there's 31 lines in a notebook. And I write down people's Instagram handles as I invite them, and then that's like how I track invites. And then the next month when I'm inviting, I'll look back at those and I'll follow up with those people. So I sometimes use that. As far as coaches, I honestly don't have a huge downline. I have like 100 coaches in my downline, working coaches in my downline, and that includes non-personally sponsored. As far as like working personally sponsored coaches that like are doing this as a business, I have like 25. So keeping track of them isn't really hard. And then I have team calls every Monday. So every Monday night we have a team call. Every Tuesday night we have a runners group call, which is my people that are runners. They get an extra training and extra calls. Wednesday, it alternates where it's either new coach basics, push to emerald, push to diamond, or push to elite or premier. Thursdays, I do a diamond internship. So I usually have diamond interns every month. So they're emeralds pushing to diamond. And so they have like a special internship they do. So we do a diamond internship call on Thursday nights. And then Saturday mornings, we have Saturday morning coffee chat where we literally just like sit around and talk and hang out on Zoom just like this and just ask questions. And it's really like team bonding, I guess, when you're all across the like world. It's nice to just jump on and not have like a formal training. So I feel like my coaches are well supported, and they also know that if they need anything, they can reach out to me and I can give them whatever resource they need. But they also know that they need to look for the resources themselves first and then go to their upline.
Love it. Love that. What advice, we have time for 2 more questions, guys. What advice would you give to coaches who want to work the business but are burning the candle at both ends? Meaning they have no time, they hate that phrase, but essentially have too much on their plates.
I don't let my coaches make that excuse. Personally, because like I said, like for this last year or these last 6 months that I've been coaching, I woke up at 4 o'clock every morning to get my workout in. And then I had to be in the car to school at 6, got to school, taught all day long, coached basketball after school, came home after an hour commute and worked my business for like 2 or 3 hours. And so I really think it comes down to if you want it bad enough, you make it happen. I tell my coaches all the time, if you want this, like you will figure out pockets of your day to make it happen. I spent my lunch with teaching alone a lot of times in my classroom, sending invites or checking with my challengers. And I really, really despise the excuse that people are too busy, because there will always be someone busier than you making their dreams come true. And if you have a new coach that is using that excuse, then you just have to be there to support them, but you have to use your energy elsewhere, because it'll burn you out trying to get them to see the vision. And also having them set business hours. Like if they can only work an hour a day, then setting that hour a day, uninterrupted business hours. And maybe they'll just take a little bit longer to get to their goals, but as long as they're being consistent with that hour a day, then they're going to get there eventually.
Love that. Guys, I had a group in the Southeast, a group of physicians, okay, that made it happen. Like they were working 80-hour days a week at the hospital, and they were finding these power pocket times. And so, yeah, I mean, I love that quote that you said. There's always someone out there working harder than you, making their dreams come true. So, always bring that up. There's always someone out there. All right. Love this question. I wanted to kind of go into a little bit more depth on this in closing, Kate. Mm-hmm. Is your sneak peek. Tell us a little bit more about that. How does that look? What are some things that you kind of bring up commonly in your sneak peek?
So I run mine for 3 days. So it's once a month. It's 3 days. I go live every single day talking about like logistics with coaching. So the night before it starts, I do a video that's like my intro. So I talk about my story and where I came from and what kind of place I was in last year and before coaching. And then I also talk about like what to expect in the group. So that's like my intro video. And then the next day I do a video of like, okay, so what the heck is coaching? And so then I talk about like, what is coaching? What do we do? How does this business work kind of? And then the next day I go live about how we make money. And then the third day I go live and squash objections. So I was the queen of objections. I was the queen of excuses. And so I feel very confident that I can squash other people's because I had them all too. And so I basically like write down all the excuses that I had. And then I also do a post that says like, what are your like hesitations? Like what is holding you back from saying yes? And so then people comment like, I don't think I'll have enough time. I don't know if I can afford it, like all this stuff. And so then I do a live video addressing all of those objections. If you haven't noticed yet, I'm a very tough love coach, but I do come from a very, very good place in my heart. And so I think some people aren't okay with that, and some people don't mesh well with me in that way. But if they don't mesh with me in that way, especially after that video, then they're not going to want to be on my team because it's 100% more tough love. So that's what I do in my Coach Sneak Peek. And then I also have like 2 or 3 of my coaches on my team go live and tell about their story. And sometimes I'll give them a topic. Like one of my coaches, she was really scared to fail. Like that was like her thing in the beginning. The first getting started right call we had, she was like terrified. Like you could tell she was really scared. And now she's like totally rocking it. And so I have her go live and say like how to like use your fears to fuel you. And so she talks about how her story and how her fears fueled her to her success. And then I have another coach who she is a full-time teacher. She's the STEM lead at her school. She is crazy busy. Like she's busier than me. And I have her go live about how coaching's her outlet and how it's not something just another thing on her to-do list. It's something that brings her happiness even on her busy days. And so she goes live and talks about that topic. So I have a couple coaches go live and talk about those topics. And then I'll do like random posts like to get people excited, like our team retreats in July. So I did like a picture of the Airbnb we have and said like, if you join our team, you can jump into this team retreat. Like, wouldn't it be so fun? And or talking about Summit, and then we also have a questions thread where it's like drop your questions below and our team will answer them for you. So people ask questions and then everyone on my team will go and like give their 2 cents because not every coach is the same. Like the way I send my invites isn't the way that one of my diamonds sends her invites. And so it's really finding like your own way and your own way of doing things, because for some people, you feel like you have to build a relationship first. For other people, you feel like you can send them that invite. And so having like different perspectives in my Coach Sneak Peek, I think has been really helpful too.
Love it. Love that, Kate. Seriously, thank you so much, Kate. But guys, before we end this call, everyone pull out your phone. We're going to take a picture, and I want you to post about the business opportunity today with this picture, okay? Let's tag each other. Let's make sure that we're making this happen. All right, guys, everyone pull them out. Let's go. Let's have a business related post today. All right, everyone smile. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Good. All right, guys, make sure we're posting about the business today. That's kind of like a little call to action that I'm going to give you today. We have Ruth Strauner on the National Wake Up Call in 30 minutes. And then Kate, in closing, do you have a call to action for us? Something that you were like, you know what, this helped me in my first, couple of months in the business. Like, what would you have us go do?
I want you guys to make a why list. So like write down all of your reasons why you joined Beachbody or why you became a coach. And I want mine is on my mirror in front of my desk and in my workout space. It's right there. And I look at my why list every single day. And make your why list personal to you. Don't say that you want to help people because that's what we get to do, but like, why are you doing this for yourself and your family?
Perfect. Awesome, Kate. Thank you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is awesome. Thank you for letting us pick your mind, or so to say, put you on the hot seat. So,
Of course.
everyone, you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you same time next week. All right, guys. We'll see ya.
Bye.